Welcome back to Glenn's Hot Rod Garage. On today's episode, we're going to find out why the rear brakes are dragging on the S10 so we can finally drive it, maybe to a burnout. Thanks for watching. So, here's the deal. I tried to drive this in the garage and the brakes are hanging up. I thought possibly that I had the lines to the master cylinder on wrong, so I changed those around. Nothing has changed. So we're going to take a look at the back brakes while it's running and see if we can find out what's wrong with it. So far, I was under the impression that I had plumbed the master cylinder backwards. According to the instructions on Jack's website, it says to plumb the brakes that do the most stopping to the rear of the master cylinder, which would be the front brakes. Because if you plumb it to the back brakes, they'll lock up before the front brakes are applied. And that's exactly how I had it plumbed, but I thought maybe I did it wrong by mistake and switched them around and then switched them back, and it's still, these brakes are pretty much locked up. You can't wiggle the pads in here whatsoever. So I think what I'm going to do is take the caliper off and reassess my shims on the caliper brackets and give this some more room to retract. So after looking at this several times and taking it apart, we discovered that the caliper pins are hitting on the inside of the wheel. So temporarily, until we get a different set of wheels for it, we got these 1/4 inch spacers that take up the play and give us the clearance here. Now, I might be able to cut half of this off of here and gain the clearance that way. But these slide on here. I don't know if that would slide in too far if I did that. So I guess I could always replace the bolts if that happens. But I got some other wheels I think I want to put on here anyway. So we're just gonna put these on here for now and go from there. It's always good to start your lug nuts before you go ramming them home with the impact. As you can see, there isn't very much thread engagement with these with the spacer on there, so I don't like the use of spacers in drag racing, so we're going to find a different setup. This would be acceptable for street driving, I guess, unless you were doing burnouts and hooking up and causing all kinds of havoc. See, now it turns nice and freely. Turned down the floats a little bit. Last time we had it running, I noticed they were a little high. Probably had something to do with my newfound fuel pump voltage. And we're gonna start this up and run it in gear. It's a cold start. This thing ain't been started in a week. I always crank it over until it gets oil pressure before I start it. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's what I do. Oil pressure gauge just moved, so we're going to give it a couple pumps and fire her up. We have these 315 Radial Pros on here, courtesy of subscriber Jeff Hall. Thank you, Jeff, for these wheels. I appreciate them greatly. But something on the caliper rubs on the inside of these. So until I figure out that issue, I put spacers on them and they fit, but I don't feel comfortable driving around the spacers because the wheel studs are very short on this and there's not enough lug nut thread engagement. So for our first test drive, we have these 28x9 Hoosiers. They're wore out, but this thing doesn't make that much power. So let's put this on and take the find Dime for a ride. Thanks for watching. So we got the brakes all blood and throwing the wheels on. We're gonna let her down. Take it for a ride. Finally, after all this time, it's like it was New Year's when I first mocked up the run housing on it. So, welcome to Glenn's House of Unfinished Projects. We do our very best here to make everything take way too long. But you know what? I think I could put the drive shaft loop in this thing and take it to the racetrack. Just saying. I might have racing content for you here soon. Or I could take the bed off and do the body work on the bed in the front of the cab and paint everything and put it together, and you could see it in the year 2030 when I retire. Glenn's Hot Rod Garage. We're watching jack action. Can you see the jack?
Yep.
What do you think this duck is saying to itself right now? This is definitely not a Jeep thing. Can you see me? Glenn's Hot Rod Garage. Unfinished project number 1. Our tow rig. So we can take this to the racetrack. Any of Glenn's Hot Rod Garage vehicles. But look. That was a cold start. We ain't been started in weeks. Nice exhausted. That obviously happened when they stole it. Tell that to your homeowners association.
He's something else.
Glenn's Hot Rod Garage, unfinished project number 2, the ugly street truck. This thing ain't been started in a minute. So, we're back. Sunday, we attempted to take this for a ride. Somehow, we lost the footage. But, I pulled it out of the driveway, it died. I started it again, tried to drive off, it died. I would have loved to show you guys this, but, in one of the clips, you'll see me adjusting on the floats, and I don't know if it didn't take last time or I did it wrong, or so I pulled the truck back into the garage and readjusted the floats. They seem to be all right now, but there still is a tip in hesitation in the carb. Also, the distributor was loose. And when you give it gas, it would retard. We tightened that up and it made the hesitation a little bit better, but it's still there a little bit. So what we're gonna do is take it for a ride and see how she acts. And there's a couple things. Accelerator pump cams could be changed for a shorter pump just discharge squirt. The squirter nozzles themselves could be made smaller. And also I thought about checking the vacuum and see what the manifold vacuum is and see if that aligns with the factory power valves in the carb. I also have a AED 750 that used to be on here before I put this carb on there. But if I recall, it got all caked up with unleaded fuel, gel, residue, whatever causes carburetors to mess up. So we'll give this a try and go for a ride, see how she does, and go from there. You could stop it. seems to be running now. Let's see if we can go for a little ride. You just ruined the whole thing. You put your hand right over it. What are you doing?
Fix it.
Huh?
Fix it. Redo it. Whatever you gotta do.
It's recording. Alright, it's running. It seems to be running okay. So we're going to take this for the first ride with the new 9-inch Ford rear end in it. And this thing hasn't been driven except for in and out of a trailer or into a storage unit much at all in the past 7 years or so since I built it. So this is a feat of accomplishing something here at Glenn's Hot Rock Garage.